My name is Lalita. I am 22 years old and I live in Chhattisgarh. Although everything seemed normal, I had a feeling that things were not quite right, or that this normality wouldn't last long. Thinking these thoughts, I would get terrible headaches. I felt that if I had to live with this man for even one more day, I would go insane. Sometimes I thought I was the mad one, and sometimes I thought my husband was mad. I couldn't decide who between us was normal and who was abnormal. A small white alum crystal became the biggest problem of my life. No one could imagine how a tiny white alum crystal could make my life so difficult. Every day, my husband would bring home a new piece of alum and store it as if it were a diamond. He would check on it every 10 minutes to see if it was safe, if anyone had stolen it, or if it had been damaged. When I first came to this house as a new bride, my husband had that alum in his hand. After talking to me, he went to the bathroom with it and emerged 3 hours later. I had fallen asleep waiting because I was tired from the wedding rituals. In the morning when I woke up, he wasn't in bed. I saw him coming out of the bathroom, holding the bag containing the alum. My husband would spend long hours in the bathroom and then come out saying, "Everything is fixed now," which embarrassed me. I didn't understand what deficiency he was talking about. 3 months had passed since our marriage, and the saga of the alum showed no signs of ending. He would repeatedly go to the bathroom with the bag, the sound of water would run, and he would emerge looking very happy, leaving me utterly confused. One night, I peeked through the bathroom window, and what I saw made my head spin. My parents loved me very much because I was their beloved youngest daughter. Because I was the youngest of all my siblings, I received everyone's affection. My parents had prayed fervently for my life. I was often sick as a child, so I underwent many treatments. But my parents never knew their lives would end so soon, leaving their most adored daughter an orphan so quickly. Had they known, they might not have fought so hard to save me in my childhood. I had an elder brother and an elder sister. We were all going on a picnic when we had a car accident. It was so horrific that my parents, brother, and sister died on the spot, but perhaps God wanted me to live, so I survived with minor injuries. Everyone was amazed at how I survived. They say, whoever God has written into life, no one can kill. Some people felt sorry for me, wondering how I would live in this world without my parents. They said it would have been better if I had left this world with my family. People wondered how a girl would live as an orphan and who would take care of her. My entire family was gone, and I was left completely alone and loveless. My father's stepbrother gave me shelter in his house because no one else was willing to take me in. My mother's relatives were too scared to even come to offer condolences. I began living with my uncle and aunt, spending my life wearing their daughter's old clothes and eating their leftover food. They often scolded me, and I grew up listening to their taunts. Time passed like this until I reached marriageable age. Many marriage proposals started coming for me. Whenever a proposal arrived, my aunt would get worried. To get rid of me, they married me off to a man I didn't know. I thought that going to my husband's house to serve him would be better than working like a servant in my aunt's house. When I saw my would-be husband, he was very handsome and smart, so I felt reassured. I heard he had his own house, which made me even happier. My aunt hurriedly got me married to get me off their hands. I was very beautiful, and my aunt's daughters were less beautiful than me. Out of jealousy, my aunt wanted to get rid of me quickly, so the path would be clear for her own daughters. When I was leaving, my aunt told me that I must stay at my in-laws' house, and that there was no need for me to return. They said they didn't have enough money to bear my expenses anymore. Hearing this, I became very worried. I couldn't understand why my aunt was saying such things. My farewell wasn't even over, and they were already talking about divorce. Why were they saying this? Was there something wrong with me, or was there a problem with their family? Strange questions began swirling in my mind. Amidst these questions, I left for my in-laws' house, the first night of my marriage. I couldn't understand why my aunt had said those things. What would be the mental state of a girl whose husband, instead of being with her on the first night, spends the whole night in the bathroom? Out of shyness, I couldn't ask my husband this question because I was new. I thought if I asked him why he did that, it would be wrong. I thought I had fallen asleep, and maybe he came and slept too. Maybe he went to the bathroom in the morning to shower. I consoled myself with these thoughts, but this consolation was of no use. Every day, my husband started doing stranger and stranger things. As soon as 1 month of our marriage was complete, my mother-in-law started expecting grandchildren. They didn't know that in 1 month, their son hadn't even touched me. Their son was busy with who knows what, and I, out of shame, couldn't tell anyone. After a month, when I went to my aunt's house to visit, my aunt saw me and asked worriedly if I had left my husband's house. I was shocked and stared at her. Her behavior had been like this during my farewell, and now she was saying strange things again. I said, "No, I've just come to visit you." Hearing this, I felt very sad. I had spent my childhood and youth in that house. I had so much love for that house. Didn't I even have the right to visit my uncle and aunt? I returned to my in-laws' house feeling upset and saw my husband going to the bathroom with the alum. My husband didn't even seem to see me. I had no special importance in that house. He loved the alum more than his wife. Sometimes I thought I would stay silent, control my anger, and accept it as my fate. Then the next moment, I thought I should bring my husband's truth out in front of the world. But I could only do this in my dreams. In reality, I was in great distress. I started keeping myself busy with housework, spending all my time washing clothes, cooking, and doing household chores. I was a working girl at my aunt's house, and I became a working girl again at my in-laws' house. Then I thought, how long would I live like this? I had to talk to my husband. One day, I told my husband that his mother was expecting grandchildren from me. Hearing this, my husband was shocked. He immediately said, "Nothing is possible right now, and it's not possible." And with that, he walked out of the room. I sat down holding my head because I had suspected it before, and now I was sure my husband was impotent. He goes to the bathroom at night with alum and waits for me to fall asleep. When I fall asleep, he comes out. No real man can stay locked in the bathroom like this, leaving his new bride alone. I thought, now I must know the truth and bring this matter to everyone's attention. One night, I pretended to sleep to see what my husband does at night. I said, "I'm very sleepy and my head is throbbing with pain, so don't disturb me." Hearing this, a strange smile appeared on my husband's face, as if he was waiting for me to fall asleep quickly. He said, "Okay, you go to sleep early. I won't disturb you at all." He turned off the light and went out. I usually fell asleep quickly because after a day of work, I would get tired and fall asleep early. But today, I was trying hard to stay awake, but sleep was overpowering me. I had thought that during the day, when my husband was in the room, I had said I wasn't feeling well and wanted to sleep. He had said, "Yes, it's okay. Someone else will do the housework. You rest." He thought I was pregnant and unwell, which is why I was resting. Even my mother-in-law didn't ask me to do any work. Otherwise, I wouldn't have had a chance to rest. I had slept well during the day, so I could stay awake at night. I waited for my husband for about an hour. After an hour, when my husband came into the room, I pretended to be asleep. I saw him go into the bathroom with the bag full of alum. When he locked the bathroom door, I quickly got up. I didn't know if he would come out soon, because I knew he wouldn't come out for a long time. I went to the back of the house where the bathroom window was, but the window was very high. I couldn't see inside because my height was much less than the window's height. I quickly brought a chair and stood on it. It was 2 a.m., and everyone in the house was asleep. No one would see me, but I was still very scared, and my body was trembling with fear. I took the chair to the window and stood on it, trying to see what my husband was doing in the bathroom for so long. My legs were shaking, and I couldn't stand properly. I felt like I was going to fall. I gathered my courage and stood on the chair. But when I looked inside the bathroom window, the scene in front of me made darkness descend before my eyes. I almost fell from the chair. What kind of work was my husband doing with the alum? What was happening? I controlled myself with difficulty and returned to my room. As soon as I entered the room, tears came to my eyes and I started crying loudly. I was crying for my fate because today my husband's true form was revealed before my eyes. Now I understood why my husband stayed away from me. I became sure that my aunt knew my husband's true nature and had deliberately sent me to this hell. Otherwise, I never lacked for proposals. I was very beautiful, so people liked me as soon as they saw me. My aunt was afraid that good proposals wouldn't come for her daughters because of me, so they married me off to this man. I decided I would never forgive my aunt. She would have to answer to God after her death. I also understood that my mother-in-law and the others in the house were unaware of my husband's behavior because they were busy with their own lives. No one had the time to notice what anyone else was doing. This was the only reason my husband had remained unchecked until today. They felt that getting him married was their duty, and they married him to someone because of whom my life was destroyed. Most parents think they are free from all responsibilities after marrying off their children. Without knowing if their son is even fit for marriage, they just marry him to some girl, which destroys that girl's life. The boy, afraid of being insulted, doesn't tell anyone about his problems and that he is unfit for marriage. Because of this, innocent girls like me lead lives of poverty. I wasn't the kind of girl who would stay quiet. By staying quiet, I wouldn't get any reward. Rather, my in-laws would taunt me for not having children for the rest of my life. I was thinking about what to do now and where to go. I had no other place to take shelter, and my aunt had forbidden me from coming to her house. I had decided I would not stay silent. I had tolerated a lot, but no more. Just because I had no one before or behind me didn't mean my husband would deceive me and I would tolerate it. I was waiting for my husband to come out of the bathroom. A long time later, when he came out and saw me awake, he was startled. Angrily, I grabbed my husband's collar and shouted, "Why did you do this to me? And why did you hide the truth?" My husband acted as if he knew nothing. His behavior made me want to kill him. He didn't know that I had understood his acting very well. He was trying to act innocent, but he was cunning and had been living with me cunningly. I couldn't understand at all what the real reason could be that he didn't come to me, and perhaps this was the reason. He was impotent. But my husband was afraid to tell me this because it would dishonor him and people would mock him. So he got married to put all the blame on his wife. Strange thoughts kept coming to my mind. Now it had been 3 months since my marriage, and for these 3 months, I had been suffering continuous mental torture. Today, when I was holding my husband's collar and questioning him, he was staring at me in shock. When my husband didn't give me an answer, I immediately started packing my things. I said to my husband, "You should be ashamed of yourself. You're doing such a dirty thing. I don't want to live with an impotent man like you because you take more care of alum than your own life." My husband was still standing in shock, silently listening to everything I said. However, his expression showed that he was understanding my words. He looked very sad that I had found out his truth. Seeing my husband shocked and worried, I packed my things and started heading towards the door and walked out of the house. Everyone in the house was still asleep. I hadn't even reached the main gate when my husband ran after me, grabbed my hand forcefully, and dragged me back inside the house. I tried to scream, but he put his hand over my mouth, which muffled my sound, and he told me in a soft voice to be quiet. He took me to the room, made me sit on the bed, and locked the door from the inside. I was very angry with my husband. I was going towards the door, but he grabbed me again and threw me on the bed and said, "What drama are you doing? You don't understand my situation at all. I told you to be quiet. Just calm down once and listen to me. And where will you go at this night? Do you want to give people a chance to talk about us?" His words made me even angrier. I said, "What do you think? That you will hide the truth and it will remain hidden for long? It will come out in front of everyone eventually. That you are not fit for marriage and that you are an impotent man. I want to tell everyone this truth, that you played with my life. I will never forgive you." I had lost my senses and was saying whatever came to my mind. Hearing me say so much, my husband slapped me hard across the face. I couldn't bear the slap and stumbled to the ground. My knees hit the floor and hurt badly. Tears welled up in my eyes and I started crying. The physical pain was minor, but the wound to my heart had hurt my entire being. I looked at my husband, shocked and worried. I hadn't expected my husband to raise his hand against me. The next moment, forgetting the physical pain, I stood in front of my husband and said, "Even after your slap, I cannot stay in this house anymore." I started talking loudly to my husband. My husband said again, "Talk softly, or the whole house will wake up." My husband was very angry, and the earlier expression was clearly visible in his eyes. My husband said, "What you are thinking is not true. You have the wrong idea. Stop assuming things. I am not impotent. Rather, I am suffering from a major illness, because of which a Vaidya, herbal doctor, told me that using alum would help me recover quickly. Before, I was completely fine, but for the past 6 months, I had been getting severe itching all over my body, and gradually, a bad smell started coming. Because of this, no one wanted to come near me. I have gotten all kinds of treatments for this disease. I have seen big doctors and used many expensive medicines. I even tried all the home remedies after looking on the internet, but got little benefit. Now my disease has grown a lot and I have to face many problems. When I went to big doctors, they said I had an infection in my blood. A few years ago, when I was very ill and needed blood, on the doctor's advice, a man donated blood to me. It was from that time that I suffered from this disease. According to the doctor, that man's blood had an allergy, which caused an infection in my blood, and the allergy spread throughout my body. That man's blood didn't suit me, and I have been in this condition since then. The doctor said that if you go near anyone, your disease could spread to them. That's why I didn't come near you. Using alum gave me a few hours of peace, but the problem wasn't just the allergy. There was another problem. If I came to you, my disease could have been transmitted to you as well. It's not an ordinary disease. Rather, it's a very bad and contagious one. I didn't want to make you like me. My treatment had been going on for many months, but gradually my problems increased. Someone told me about a famous Vaidya, so I went to him. When I met him, he examined me completely and assured me that I would recover quickly. That Vaidya started my treatment. On the other hand, my family was pressuring me to get married because my sister had come from London, and it was very important for her to be present at my wedding. Furthermore, it wouldn't have been possible for her to come here for the next few years. I tried very hard to make my parents understand that I was not ready for marriage now, but no one listened to me, and my wedding date was fixed without my opinion. This is how our marriage happened. When I went to the Vaidyaji and told him that my marriage was about to happen, he said that my marriage should have been delayed for another 2 or 3 months until the treatment was complete. I should not go near anyone. I used to talk to every member of my family, keeping my distance, and didn't mingle with them closely. Currently, my wedding date had been fixed. The Vaidya said that until the treatment is complete, you must stay away from your wife. After hearing the Vaidya's words, I became very worried. He said that there is no other solution to your problem, so you must first get completely healthy and cure your disease. After that, you can live peacefully with your wife for the rest of your life. With the Vaidya's treatment, I was improving a lot, and I was feeling quite good. So I had to listen to the Vaidya's words, and I thought I would tell you the whole truth after marriage. But I don't know why. I didn't have the courage to say anything to you, and that was my biggest mistake, because of which you misunderstood me. Vaidyaji said that your treatment is possible only with alum. That's why I didn't come near you, and to this day, I didn't even try to sit and talk to you properly. Every day I would bring alum home, and every day my treatment would be done with alum. So I took care of the alum like a madman so that I could recover quickly and live a normal life. I could have told you how thirsty I was to spend time with you. No one could see my problem from the outside, but internally, I had become very restless because of my problem. Please forgive me. I am apologizing to you for raising my hand at you and for hiding this truth from you for so long. My husband looked very ashamed. Tears were streaming continuously from his eyes, and the truth was clear from his words, which made me believe him. I said to my husband, if you had told me all this earlier, I wouldn't have been so worried for the last 3 months. All kinds of thoughts were coming to my mind. Anyone in my place would have thought the same about you. Because of some of your behaviors, it seemed like you were mocking me. I used bad language with you and didn't understand you. For that, I am also sorry. I, feeling ashamed, apologized to my husband and assured him that I would always stand by him and take complete care of him until he fully recovered. From that day to today, we have always been together. By God's grace, gradually my husband's illness was completely cured, and now he is completely healthy. We are both living a very good life now. Sometimes we get into misunderstandings by setting aside our emotions, which can destroy our families. We should try to understand our life partner better, but we often only think about our own words. We don't know what is going on in the heart of the person in front of us and what problems they are going through. If we can understand someone's problem, we can stand by them and help them succeed and completely remove their problem. I pray to God to give us the courage and strength to think and understand so that we can make the right decisions. I also have a 3-year-old daughter now. It seems like all the problems in my life have ended. My husband is so good that sometimes I can't believe my own luck, that this man is the same person whom I once blamed without understanding. Now I am very happy with my entire family. Friends, I hope you liked our story. If you liked the story, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and definitely press the notification bell so that the next update reaches you first.